One of the big things and issues that some divers come across when they either start going diving or when they, after a winter break, they get back into diving, is they find they can cramp up quite a lot. So in this video, we're going to help show you how to prevent that. So hi, all of you wonderful scuba divers out there. Welcome to the Scuba Diving Magazine channel, your favorite place for the latest scuba diving news and gear reviews. And welcome to Ask Mark, our scuba diving Q&A, where I, Mark, a former dive instructor, do my best to answer your scuba diving questions. So if you do have any diving questions, pop them down in the comment section underneath this video. Use this Ask Mark hashtag in your comment so that I can answer it. I type out an answer if I can, and I might even turn it into a video, and it might even end up in our magazine. And the community does an awesome job of answering questions as well when I don't get to them. So thank you for everyone who does that for me. But yeah, today I'm answering a question from Barry about how to stop cramp in your legs. So Barry says, how do I stop cramp in my calves during a dive? So a nice quick question. So first of all, let's look at the causes of cramp, because that's going to help you combat it. The old school understanding is that cramp is caused by dehydration and like a lack of electrolytes and stuff like that. It is kind of, I mean, I'll never recommend that you go on a dive dehydrated or lacking electrolytes, but to prevent cramp, that's not really where your focus should be. A more modern understanding is, and I'm really going to make this basic, a more modern understanding is that there's like a sensor in the tendon. It's usually the calf muscle. That's the primary offender when we get cramps in scuba diving. That, or like the middle of the foot as well. It depends on like the fin blade, your fitness and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, there's like a sensor in the tendon that talks to the spine and tells the spine that yes, this muscle is tense. It sends a message to the CNS, the spine, and the spine goes, okay, now you can relax, and it relaxes. When that sensor fails through like repeated use, then there's kind of a feedback loop, and it kind of prevents the muscle from being able to relax, or it basically, the spine doesn't really know that it's fully extended and doesn't really send that relax signal properly, so you end up just tensing the muscle. So the best way to interrupt a cramp is to kind of try to activate that sensor by extending the muscle. You don't really want to hyperextend it and damage the muscle or tendons or anything. You just want to extend it to try and trigger that sensor. Your spine then goes, oh, that muscle is tensing, I'll make it relax. That's a really basic and probably anatomically incorrect way of how I understand it, but that's kind of it as I understand it. So the first thing to prevent a cramp is obviously prevention. So still hydrate before the dive. Make sure you're getting fluids in. Don't overhydrate, because that can dilute everything and that makes everything worse, and you're going to need to pee during the dive as well. Make sure that you're getting potassium and magnesium. I think they're the two things that you need that help prevent it in the first place. So potassium, things like bananas or just like multivitamins or something. The same with magnesium. And stretching before the dive as well. I've already done a video on stretches, but yeah, just make sure that you're stretching the muscles because you're doing some activities. So just like in school PE lessons, you stretch, or you should have been told to stretch before you do anything. And it just gets the muscle ready. And also in the lead up to it, this is why some divers find that after they've had like a winter break, and they get back into diving for like the summer season, they start getting cramp a lot at the beginning. If you've had a long extended period of lethargy and you're not doing very much, you don't have that active lifestyle, suddenly jumping into it, yeah, your muscles get a bit shocked. So having just a regular physical activity just to get the muscles used to moving, it's just another day, that helps your muscle kind of get used to it. Once you're actually in the water, you want to focus on, one, your buoyancy, funnily enough, because if your buoyancy isn't on and you're kind of drifting or going up and down or whatever, then you'll probably find that you're using your fins to like adjust your depth more frequently. So you're using your legs more than you actually need to. If you're diving behind like a professional diver, you'll find that they just kind of hang in the water, do a fin kick, and they just cruise for a bit. They're not really using their legs very much. And scuba diving is a pretty chilled, relaxed sport. You're not going hell for leather unless you're trying to fight a current, and you should never really be trying to fight a current. So try and take it nice and easy. And the actual kick technique needs to be pretty good. If you don't have a good finning technique, then you may find that you're using one particular muscle group more than another, like another bigger like thigh muscle group, and that's where you can just continually using that muscle, and it can be worth mixing up your fin kick styles. So if you're doing a lot of flutter kick, just mix it up with a frog kick for a few minutes, just to like give that muscle group a bit of a rest, so that you're not doing the exact same motion over and over and over and over again. That's gonna just tax that sensor, and yeah, it's gonna falter. So try and mix it up from time to time. Just take it nice and easy. Once you do have cramp, if you do find it, then the first thing is first of all, tell your buddy, because best case scenario, they can come and they can help you, and maintain buoyancy as well, because whilst you're focusing on like relieving this cramp, then you're not really thinking about your buoyancy and everything else, and you don't want to be crashing into the reef or anything. So they can help maintain your position in the water. They can even help you with the cramp, which I'll get into in a second. But worst case scenario, they don't know you've stopped in place, and they're just going to continue on, and hopefully after a while they'll turn around and go, hey, where's Bob? So you want to make sure that your buddy knows as early as possible, so that they can help you out. You can relieve a lot of cramps, especially in the calf yourself. And yeah, as I said, it's mainly about stretching that muscle. It's about kind of low and slow. You're not trying to just like jerk it or anything, or like stretch it, relax. You want to stretch it and kind of keep it stretched for a good like 30 seconds at least, just to really get that sensor to go, oh, hang on, what am I doing? Oh, I'm stretching. I'll tell spine. Also, if you can massage it, so this is where your buddy is really useful, because your calves are surprisingly far away, because the older you get, they get further and further away. But if you're all by yourself, I usually run a hand down the outside of my leg, down to my ankle, and then reach the sides of the blade of my fin, and then reach for the tip. I find that if you just try and reach for the tip itself, it's kind of tricky. Whereas if you can like bend your leg, reach down for your ankle, and then just trace your fingers up the edge, I find it a lot more easy. And then kind of straighten your legs, and then holding onto that fin tip, it's going to like push on your toes and kind of like extend that muscle. Whilst you're doing that, if you can with the other hand, reach your calf, just give it just a quick massage. It helps to move the blood flow around and just wake things up. If your buddy's there, or if your buddy has cramp and you're there to help, try and get their foot onto your shoulder, and like use your shoulder to bear their toes up towards their knees, and with your hands just massage that calf muscle, just to get things moving around. And remember it's that like gentle yet forceful push and hold for a few seconds, and then kind of relax. And after it has alleviated, you think the cramp has gone, wait. Don't just go back to finning, because it's very easy for it to just trigger again, and then you go through that whole cycle again. So take it easy. Just take a quick like look over yourselves and your buddy, make sure everything's okay. Check your gas levels and your depth and all that kind of stuff, and just take it really nice and easy. Try and use a different fin kick style, so you're not triggering that muscle group. Just take it really easy from there. After the dive, get out of the water, try and keep that muscle nice and warm and relax it. Obviously, don't do anything too strenuous. The heat is just going to help all of that just kind of loosen up and relax and get back into the like normal actions. But yeah, it's most people online, when you ask the question, it's oh yeah, get some potassium, get some magnesium, and stay hydrated. If you overhydrate, if you drink too much water, you can dilute everything and get rid of a lot of electrolytes, which you don't want. You do want to be hydrated, but you don't want to be overhydrated, and it can affect your decompression as well. So you don't want too many fluids coming in, but you do want the right fluids. So if you do have access to some like sports drinks or things that are like good for electrolytes, they can be quite good just to keep all your levels up. And yeah, if you do suffer from cramps, it might be worth talking to your doctor just to see if there's anything like physiologically that you might be sort of worth looking at some kind of supplements, but they're the best to recommend that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's really down to prevention, early prevention. Keep yourself just warm up before the dive. Make sure that everything's stretched. Make sure you're like fit and healthy leading up to the dive, and just your general movements throughout just most days, not even just diving days, but just general Monday, Tuesdays. Just go for a little walk from time to time. Just something to get those muscle groups working. And yeah, on the actual dive day, do make sure that you stretch, and yeah, just mix it up from time to time. Focus on your buoyancy and your fin kick technique, and yeah, mix it up from time to time. Instead of just using one particular fin kick, try and mix it up for a few minutes, and that just gives that muscle just a bit of a break. And yeah, if you do get it, stretch it nice and forceful, and then rest as much as possible. Take it easy, because it can be quite easy to like trigger it again, and then you get another cramp, which is even worse. And yeah, get out of the water. Yeah, I'll probably do a longer video on this because it's quite an interesting subject, and it does affect a lot of divers. I remember it was a skill that I used to teach as an instructor, how to relieve a cramp. So yeah, I'll probably try and draw up a more comprehensive video where I've actually done studies and read through things so that I actually know what I'm talking about, as it were. I can make sure that I'm giving you the right information. But yeah, as I understand it, there's this little sensor talks to your spine, and if you kind of like use that sensor too much, it kind of gets a little bit confused, and it doesn't tell the spine, which then tells the muscle to relax. I think that's what it is. But yeah, you're basically trying to reactivate that sensor. But anyway, any other questions, pop them down in the comment section underneath this video. Use this AskMark hashtag in your comments to get featured in an up and coming video. Otherwise, remember to head over to our various different social media and websites. They'll be scrolling down here for a fair amount of time. Remember to like, share, subscribe, do all that good social media stuff. Thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.